Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever in the world you are. It's V, the one and only, the ape mentalist. And I'm coming to you with my main man, Dex, the Algocapitalist. And we are back. We are back. It's Tuesday. It's time for the trading Terrordome. And if you didn't know, you shouldn't be a home alone, because we got some market information that's going to come at you fast and furious, just in case you was curious. Talking about the bloodbath that don't last in Wall Street, trying to beat the heat. Listen to my man Dex speak. Go ahead, Dex.
What up? What up? It's good to be back. It's really good to be back, my man.
Absolutely. Hey, weren't we just talking about this sell-off just weeks ago? Just
Yeah,
weeks ago, dude.
Yeah. I gave everybody the price points. I told you what to expect and when. I also explained that there was room on the chart for the market to pull back and correct a little bit and still maintain its overall bullish integrity.
Bingo.
And that's what we're seeing right now. But that's not the real story. The real
What's the real
story is
story,
not
Clay?
that the market has pulled back. The real story is the nature and how it has pulled back, which I uncovered in my pre-market pulse scan along with my live webinar I did yesterday.
Right.
And what the most people don't realize is that this is a well orchestrated and pre-planned event.
Okay.
And this is really flexing going on behind the scenes. AI has taken over. AI runs every aspect of these markets. And when necessary, the AI communicate with each other and they all act in tandem. The algorithms move the markets and they do agree in certain situations. And that's what you saw happen yesterday and especially last night. And I showed in the video this morning where the signals were registered across the board and where the AI came together and pushed the market up as well as down. So that's what you're seeing happen. It's nothing new.
Friday market sell-off, we saw the 666 flash on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
We saw the 1,500-point dip on Monday, which is, again, 15 is a powerful number to these idiots. Break that down for us, man. Break that down. What are some of the indicators? What was the red flags that triggered you, apart from the fact that you talked about this weeks ago?
Well, what people need to understand is that in these markets that we find ourselves, because it is taken over by computers, what happens is the language within the code, they give off signals to each other. Sometimes they give off signals to confuse the masses. And that's what you saw happen on Friday. Okay, so the Dow hits the 666. Historically speaking, whenever the market signaled 666, it was always a reversal signal that the market would immediately reverse and that the bottom or the top was put in the market. This time it was different. When you saw that 666 down there, that meant it was a signal to the algo bots that it was time to liquidate and that they were going to systematically bring the market down and to be ready for it. So the market had to shift some things around, and the way they designed the code at the different exchanges, it's able to absorb that flow. There was not panic selling on Wall Street. I don't think the new people among us know what panic selling looks like because they weren't around when it really happened.
Right.
Panic selling or flash crash. I even heard people use the term flash crash yesterday. It was not a flash crash. A flash crash is a systematic taking down of the market in its entirety. That means both correlated and non-correlated assets are being smacked down systematically and simultaneously. There is no safe haven. Gold, silver, bonds, the US dollar, and equities crash together. That's what we had happen in flash crashes in the past. Yesterday was not a flash crash because it was limited to only a certain sector of the entire marketplace. For example, we saw prices fall in the Bitcoin futures. We also saw it within the stock index futures. But not every share of stock that is represented within the index fell. For example, Apple Computer actually got a rally yesterday because of Trump explaining to the people that Apple has revealed they're going to, invest, billions of dollars into the economy and hire tens of thousands of people. All right. So that helped their stock. But it was not a flash crash. Flash crashes are an immediate takedown of the system, as you know it. That happened back on May the 6th, 2010. It also happened back in the October, actually September, from September of 2008 until the end of March of 2009. You basically had a flash crash that lasted months. Okay, that was panic selling. All right, that was people saying, "Get me out of the market. I'm out of here." Prior to that, the last time you had a flash crash, that was back during 9/11. The week after they reopened the market, the Dow fell about 1,200 points, but it wasn't instant. It fell 1,200 points that week. It took a week for the market to fall 1,200 points. Yesterday, we saw the Dow literally move almost 2,000 points to the downside from top to bottom. That has never happened in the history of the markets. All right. Now, I want to reveal something else to y'all, because people think that we be joking around sometimes. They don't think that we really serious. So I'm going to put this out here. The powers that be listen to this show. All right.
Yep.
Just so y'all know, I was doing a live webinar yesterday explaining to everybody what was happening as it was happening. And I explained to the Black Ops trading room what those talking points were going to be. And I explained how percentages mean nothing except for on Wall Street when they like to throw things around and raise equity. But when it comes to markets falling in price, percentages mean nothing. It's the point that you're looking at, the points. Within the history of Wall Street, you never heard them focus on points. They always talked about percentages, especially when they were trying to bid the market up or talk it up, so to speak. And they say, well, this was a big move down, but and from historical standards, 29 was the biggest, or 87 was the biggest in percentage points. But yesterday, across the wires, Bloomberg, Reuters, all of them, MSNBC, CNBC, Channel 5, you throw it out there. Anybody that was talking about the markets, they all talked about the points. It was the biggest point drop in history. And they were all in unison saying that after I said it. I said it first. And then boom, now the talking heads are talking about it. Oh, the biggest point drop ever. Dow loses this many points. But now here's the thing, though, that I want people to peep as well. See, this happened on Trump's watch. You have infighting within the powers that be now.
Yep.
All right. You got the shadow government fighting in on itself. The part that hates Trump is mad because under his watch, the markets have increased exponentially. They didn't want to have that. So they're trying to cloud that with, the biggest point drop in history happened on his watch. They want you to focus on that. They don't want you to focus on how I prophesied to you during the night of the election that jobs were going to fall out of the sky. All right. I did a series of videos on that too, explaining that jobs were going to fall out of the sky. People laughed and said, "You're crazy. How are they going to do that?" You tell me, because they're doing it now. They've been announcing all types of jobs and hirings. They're pulling the rabbit out of the hat. That's what they're doing to you. Okay. Now, in addition to that, what else they don't like? They don't like the fact that he is getting things done. He's the deal maker. He's hashing out foreign policy that previous presidents could only wish to dream of. All right. He's wheeling and dealing and doing all types of stuff. And people are hating on that. All right. Because they want their guy in office, not this guy in office. So they're doing everything in their power to get him out of office some kind of way. It should also be noted that taking the markets down the way they did, it wasn't necessarily a jab at Trump, but the media turned on him and used it as that. Normally, when the markets fall down like they did, every channel, every news anchor person is talking the market up. And they bring on guests to explain why you should be investing and buying the dip, buying the pullback. You haven't heard that this time. You haven't heard not one cheerleader try to talk the market up. Because, like I titled the video this morning, they're normalizing chaos. They want this to become normal to you. They want you to get used to all types of chicanery right before your eyes so that you won't even bite an eye to it. That's what they're doing. They're making you numb to this. You haven't ever seen price movement and volatility like this. And now that you see it, you're not even really moved because they're not sounding the alarms that you should be moved. They're normalizing this type of behavior so that they could provide theft for their cronies right in front of you in broad daylight and not have to hide it anymore. And you won't say anything. Like I said, in the past, if the Dow fell 500 points, oh, it's the end of the world. The Dow yesterday fell almost 2,000 points and no one is really talking about it. They don't care. And that's because they want to normalize the chaos because chaos is coming. So where do we go from here? Well, something else happened, which is not being talked about either. And that's the ticker that you've seen me use time and time again in my videos, the ticker XIV, the volatility shares by Credit Suisse. They just decided all of a sudden to pull.
For those that don't know, that's the VIX inverse.
Yeah, they just decided without warning to pull the plug. So the stock went from $99 a share on the close down to $10 in the extended hours trading and overnight in pre-market.
That's insane.
Let that sink in for a moment. The XIV historically was held by 401ks and pension funds and things of that nature. They just got robbed in broad daylight. Robbed. And I don't see anyone talking about this on the mainstream media. Do you know how many people just got their faces ripped completely off? We're talking decapitation of one's account. These are people's retirement accounts that held the XIV. I want that to sink in. All right, this is not a day trader stock. This is an ECN/ETF that retirement accounts were widely held in.
And just to give it the scope, Dex, could you spell out for the audience like how massive amounts of retirement accounts were anchored to the XIV? Because it was huge, bro.
We're talking pension funds. We're talking the policeman's fund, government employees, school teachers, state and local government. We're talking about government, man. We're talking millions and millions of people. This thing had a liquidity of like 50 million shares on an average daily. That's huge. And now all of a sudden, it's gone. I mean, I can't stress how breathtaking this is. This is on the same level as the MF Global and John Corzine event. They just literally stole people's money just now. Just swiped it. It's gone. Just poof. And the question has to go is, Where did all that money go? Where did the money go? Why did this happen? Well, I have the answer for you. Take a sip of this coffee and I'll tell you.
I mean, dude, honestly, you're talking about $50 million liquidity, $90 a share, $50 million liquidity on a daily. You're talking about a share that's been eviscerated from $90 to $10. Dude, you're talking about $4 billion almost gone.
I hope you guys are sitting down when I reveal this to you.
God, Dex.
Are y'all ready? Drum roll, please. All the money went back to the Federal Reserve.
Bam, bam.
Feds got your money.
Yep.
The Fed was one of the biggest widely held entities within the XIV.
Yep.
The Fed has been unwinding its balance sheet. That's why you don't hear them talking about that on the mainstream news. I only heard it mentioned once.
That's killer information. That is bombastic, bro. Go ahead.
And guess who spilled the tea and mentioned it? Bloomberg. If you got a Bloomberg terminal, you heard it. Yep. They brought a guy on. He was saying, yep, this is nothing more than the Fed unwinding this balance sheet and blah, 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 blah. So the money went back to the Fed, folks. The Fed is pulling out. They're pulling their money systematically out of the stock market. They are unwinding their balance sheet. That's what they're doing. All right. So if you want to know who did this to you, all right, it ain't Frank Lucas who did this to you.
Frank Lucas.
This is the Fed who did this to you. All right. You need to understand that. You want to know who blew up the pension fund? It wasn't the people running the fund. It was the Fed. The Fed did this to you. That's why no one's really talking about it. And you're not going to hear anyone else talk about it except for the guy that came on Bloomberg yesterday for a split second and the Rogue Money Show.
Bam.
On the Terrordome. I'm letting you know right now. So if you don't agree with me, you want to laugh at me, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Give it a few days, a couple weeks, whatever. You'll hear it. You'll hear the talking heads finally spill the tea and explain exactly what's been happening. They'll tell you, but they're going to wait. They ain't going to tell you now. They're going to let the dust settle because right now lawsuits are going to be flying and all that stuff. And they're not going to go anywhere because you can't sue the Fed. Can't sue the government. I mean, you could try, but you're not going to win. Even if you do win, you're not going to collect any money. So that's the layer of protection. All right. So this is where we are, folks. Now, with that being said, XIB is gone. Now, the SVXY and UVXY are still operating and running. It is my belief. This is just a belief. I'm not saying thus saith the algorithms and none of that stuff. Just going by the historical perspective and going from past experience. Are you ready? I believe that the SVXY will recover. It fell from a high of $139.47 a share down to down to $10 a share. And right now it's trading at $11.33. I believe that it's going to get back up to at least between $70 and $90 in the interim. That's what I think is going to happen on that one. So that is not a recommendation to buy or sell securities. That is just my personal opinion. And that personal opinion is not based on anything I'm seeing in the algorithms or even technical analysis or fundamental analysis. It's just based on historical norms. That's it. And I just want to put that out there. In full disclosure, yeah, I'm long some SVXY. Full disclosure. So anyway, and I do have some exposure, not in Bitcoin, but I'm still holding some Veritasium. I do have some exposure in some blockchain penny stocks, but that's about it. So full disclosure, so no one can say, "Hey, he was talking his book." No, not at all. Not at all. I keeps it real. Keeps it 100.
Keeps it 100.
Yeah. Now,
what say you What else is on your radar, man? What do you see coming down the pike? God.
All right, let's talk about this gold and the silver right now.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, I showed the chart last night with the gold and the silver. I showed how silver was really struggling here, can't even get above $17. I showed the price points where the markets need to close for the week, and right now they're not looking so good right now. That flight to quality that you saw when the bonds ripped higher and gold and silver moved a little bit higher, I have to tell you, that's another reason how, even if you don't have the tools that I have, you can still just look at the price points and look at the chart and see that something is off. The way the market fell apart yesterday and last night, under normal circumstances, bonds would be to a point where you probably couldn't even price it. Gold and silver would be off the charts. It would be like 9/11 all over again when gold and silver went priceless. I'm dead serious. In normal circumstances, if what you saw yesterday and last night was quote unquote real, then bonds will be through the roof. Yields would be just crashing back down to zero right now. I'm dead serious. Right now, instead, what do you see? You got the long bond at 146.14. Still in a bear position. If this was real, bonds right now would be back at 155, 160. And gold and silver, are you kidding? Instead of at $13.31 an ounce, gold would be above $1,400 an ounce. Heck, based on the amount of pricing drops that we saw yesterday, gold would probably be back at the 1900 highs, maybe even 2000, if what we saw yesterday was real. So that's how you know that something is off, because gold and silver barely moved. They're pretty much the same price they were last week right now. So that's how you know something is off. There was really no flight to quality. It was made to look that way by the talking heads. They told you that's what was happening. That's not what was happening. I just mentioned it earlier. The Fed was unwinding their balance sheet. Think about this for a minute. What does that mean? If bonds were ripping, but not really. The Fed was unwinding its balance sheet. Are you trying to say the Fed was short its own bonds? I didn't say it. You did.
Of course they can. Of course they will. They got to do
why
something.
You saw the bonds move.
Dex, that 10-year yield isn't looking too good, Dex. It isn't looking too good.
I'm just saying, expect bond prices to resume their downward spiral, and expect the stock market to go to heights that no man has seen. You haven't seen the highs in the stock market.
Do we print the t-shirts now? I think it's about time that you and I start printing the Dow 30,000 t-shirt, baby, because you and I have been calling this bad boy for a while everybody else is saying market's going to go to 5,000. In fact, there's some talking heads right now on some alt media shows. They're talking about, the market's going to go to 5,000 points. It's going to be a massive sell-off. Buy gold.
That's fear-mongering, and that's not true. Exactly. It's not true until it happens. I've already shown everybody the chart. The stock market is still uber bullish. I've already showed you where the Dow could fall another 3,000 points and still be technically in a bull market.
Technically still bull market indicative.
And let's keep all things 100. Bitcoin is still in a bull market. Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100. The futures is in a bear market.
You got the Fed. You had the Fed doing, they gotta look, man, they gotta empty their balance sheet. They're unwinding their balance sheet. Why? They gotta get that pressure valve off the bond market.
Mm-hmm.
They gotta get that pressure bond off the bond market. And all the guys that are in the equities right now, the massive sell-off, dude, you had $550 billion, you had almost $500 billion. I don't even know how many billions of dollars that was just taken the other day, literally out of the market, right? They're extracting liquidity, they're taking profit, they're gearing up for the run up to Dow 29,000, and we're out to 30,000 on so forth. That's what we're seeing here.
Correct.
And everybody else is saying it's sky's falling. You and I are saying, oh no, this is a correction. This is once again the elites sucking the blood out of the little guy. Right. Here we go. And guess what? Because the bonds suck, they got to get that pressure valve off. They're moving out of bonds. They're going to try and stabilize it, but they're moving the hell out of it. They're getting into equities, and they're moving into cryptos. The SEC guy today is having a whole conference on How we're going to regulate cryptos? Why? Because they're moving in on it.
Exactly. That's what's up. So yes, remember what I always said to guys in the training. Before they rally something up, they got to break it down. Since its inception, Bitcoin futures has been what? Down.
Yep.
All right. The futures have been straight down because they want to break it to a price point where they're comfortable. Then they're going to jump in and you're going to see the Bitcoin futures margins go through the roof as well as the price. Right now, you can trade the Bitcoin futures from anywhere from $4,000 a contract to $11,000 a contract.
Bingo.
Depending on who your broker is.
They don't like it when Bitcoin's at 20. They're going to bring it down so they can get in. They can position and then ride this bad boy right up.
It's going to be 50 to 100 grand for a contract of Bitcoin. Watch.
It's going to. Dude, watch what happens by April, man. Watch what happens by June. We're going to be talking six-figure Bitcoin by this summer. I wouldn't be surprised.
But peep this, though. What does that tell you guys? If I always preach at the end of my videos, what do I say? I say, take what you can, give nothing back. And I always preach, take profits along the way.
Right.
Most people don't listen to me. But guess who is listening to me? The Fed is listening to me. Because yesterday and last night, they took profit.
Right.
They're taking profit. They're unwinding their balance sheet. What should you be doing?
I should be ducking and covering under my desk.
This is a Jurassic Park moment. When the movie first comes on and they touch down on that island, the first thing they see is the stampede of animals running their direction. Now, I guarantee if they had me on there, if I was on there and I'm one of the guys in that group, I would have took off running in the same direction as the animals and been like, while I'm running, I'd be like, yo, Tyrannosaurus Rex. Yeah, what's up, man? Hey, why are we running? Oh, it's this big old thing coming back there. You don't want no parts of that. Okay. I thought I asked. Good looking. And I keep running. I'll find out why I'm running after I'm out of the way. What did they do? They walked right into the danger and got eaten.
Yep.
So that's what you're doing when you don't follow the rules of the game. Right now, I told everybody when I first saw that Bitcoin hit 20,000, what did I say in my next video? And even when I came on your show, I said y'all should be tightening up your stops and consider taking some profit off the table. And everybody looked at me and said, "Man, what are you talking about? You sound like a fool. It's time to buy." I said, "All right."
Oh, hell no. Who bought it?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry for anybody who bought a 20.
Dude, do you remember all the videos that was coming out on YouTube? All these so-called gurus of the coin.
Yeah.
Telling everybody they should be getting long. Let me show you what I'm buying next.
Yeah. I'm going to buy.
I didn't see that one of them.
I'm going to buy Litecoin at 500.
Where are they at?
And then I'm going to sell it at 200.
Where are they at? I don't see them making no videos after what's been happening, talking about how much money they done lost on the long side. You don't see no videos like that. And you don't see videos telling people when to take profit and get the heck out of the way.
I'm going to give you some full disclosure. Here's what I got. Okay. Let me give you some full disclosure here. I got a bunch of cryptos. I got Bitcoin. I got a few Bitcoins. I got Ethereum. I got Populous. I got Litecoin. I got a whole bunch of different types of altcoins. I just can't go over the list. Gold and silver, of course. Equities, come on, man. Come on. I'm all about the four horsemen of the apocalypse, bro.
There you go.
Apple, Google, Amazon, Netflix. I'm riding it.
So you're all in the fang. All right.
Dude, come on. Four horsemen of apocalypse right there. You know?
Got to.
You know?
Got to.
It's like, it's no, just gonna hold all everything and put in physical and bury myself in cat food.
Can't do it.
Can't do it, man. Yo, get smart. It's not that. I mean, Dex, you run a trading room. You know, people have an opportunity to learn how to do this. Do it. Invest a few $100, couple $100. Go join a trading room like Dex's. Get on the newsletter. Learn how to trade. And then we got the trading room coming up for our crypto stuff, for crypto trading. We got Crypto Cowboy, Crypto Z. These guys are sharp as hell. They do the whole thing with the charts, the whole 9 yards. Learn. Stop being fearful. Be empowered. You know, when you got these idiot talking heads, I'm not going to call them idiots. That's a very harsh word. But these guys out there saying that market's going to die to 5,000, hit the deck. Nah, man. Dude, you got to remember, folks, what did John D. Rockefeller, not Rockefeller, it was John D. Rockefeller. What did he say back in 1920? He said this. You know what he said about him buying? What did he say, man?
Competition is a sin. I know.
No, that's the other thing. The other thing, you know what he says about the stock market? No, it wasn't Rockefeller. I'm sorry, it was Rothschild.
Oh, Rothschild.
Rothschild. He said this. I buy when there's blood on the street.
Gotcha.
Boom.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
I have to say, there's been plenty of blood on the street.
Oh yeah,
but you gotta know how to buy it,
baby.
See, people aren't patient. They don't. It's like they don't believe. I don't know what it is. It's like this new generation of folk, man. I don't know who raised these people, but they don't think right. They don't think right at all. They're so woolly.
Yeah.
Why are you so woolly? I don't know what else to say or do for you. What can I do for you? I told you what was going to happen. And it's happening right before your eyes. Now, hopefully, I don't get punched in the face with this SVXY, but hey, you know.
And life goes on, right?
It does. The sad part, no, seriously, though, in all seriousness, folks, I want to encourage a lot of people. I break it down and I tell you in the training how to look at certain things. If you're long some alt crypto and it's a penny stock, meaning it's trading at pennies, you ain't got to worry about nothing. Yeah, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to them folk who hold anything that's worth more than $20. All right. So if you in cryptos that are worth a couple $100 a coin, you do need to realize how to trade in and out of that thing so you can take some profit off the table along the way. You never go broke taking profits, people. You will never go broke taking profits, but you will go broke failing to take profits. All right. That's all I'm saying. So learn to do this the right way. Learn to understand how these algorithms work. Whether you like it or not, the markets are controlled by AI. Yep. You don't like it, but that's what it is.
Artificial intelligence, not
market. And they flexing, man. They've been flexing for the last 2 days now. Yep. They're letting you know what time it is.
Yep.
They're in control.
Absolutely.
But so are you.
Absolutely.
This is the only venue I know in life where the people can literally take back control without violence and bloodshed.
Exactly correct. You just got to be smart and play the game.
Going to prison.
you just gotta strap on the shoes and play the game. That's all you gotta do, folks. Listen, you can be listening to anybody else out there, and they will just make you feel so fearful, so powerless. But the only power you have is your ability to hide. The only power you have is your ability to hide your whatever money you have. Drill holes in your wall and hide gold nuggets in it. Hide silver in your drain pipes. You know, don't even buy cryptos because you think it's the mark of the beast and you think it's, there's going to be a coronal mass ejection and how you're going to get your cryptos. You don't want to trade the market because all the talking heads you listen to say, "Oh, the market's rigged, the market's rigged, the market's rigged." It is rigged. Take advantage of it. It's free money.
It is, and you know what? Money machine. It's not the only thing that's rigged, folks, in life. The markets have to be rigged. That's the nature of the market. It was rigged from its inception.
Bingo.
The market was designed to only go up, just so you know that,
right.
And to go up by a certain amount per year.
Correct.
All right. It's called yield and return on investment.
Bingo.
So that's what it's for.
And if you know the earmarkers of when to get in and when to get out, take profit along the way, you're going to be all right. You're going to be doing a lot better than the guy who's just hodling. Holding on for dear life. Hodling.
Buy and pray. That's what they do instead of
buy and pray.
Buy and pray. They pray that it goes up. Please go up.
Exactly.
That's not how you trade. If you're in something, folks, and it's not moving and it doesn't have a good story or reason behind it, it's just totally speculative. Sometimes you got to cut your losses and put money somewhere where it's going to move. For instance, these cryptos and stuff and Bitcoin, we know they're not going nowhere. The story behind the blockchain is fierce.
It's here to stay.
So you are right in that space. But if you're holding something else, like you're holding an IBM computer or Netflix or something, you still got to do the knowledge to it.
Of course.
You got to look and learn how to take these profits, folks. You can always get back in. You're not going to miss something. But don't let these markets punch you in the face. Don't let the Fed unwind his balance sheet on you at your expense. Straight up. I'm just saying.
And with that being said, brother, we are at the end of this dynamic, awesome kick-ass show. And Dex, why don't you give out your shout-outs and how people could follow you? And we'll take it and we'll close out from there, bro.
All right. You can get at me at pulsewavetrading.com. That's pulsewavetrading.com. And you can follow me on Twitter at The Vulcan Report. All right. On Twitter, I'm The Vulcan at The Vulcan Report.
And with that being said, I am the Ape, and we're out. Laters.
Peace.
Wait, I can't find my off button, man. Oh, there it is. All right. This is what happens when I don't have El Cuco with me.
I know, right?
We're over and out, folks. Have a good day. Cheers.
Peace.